Okay, so we're recording again. I've invited Andrew here to help me out. Um, Sometimes you get stuck and you just need a pair partner. So, Andrew, I've brought you up to speed. The students on the video are already up to speed on what we're doing. So we are trying here now, we're going to do NPM tests. And I have a test that's failing, and I'm a little stumped as to why. Okay, so here's what's going on. First of all, let me show you the test that's failing. And that test is in Dining Commons index page. And it's this test right here. Let me comment it out for a moment and rerun the test just to show that this is indeed the test that's failing. Okay, so those tests all work. And now I come back over here, uncomment this, and now the test suite will rerun on its own, and it fails. So what is this test that is not working? Well, I'm setting up with user only, and what that does is it basically does a reset on our Axios mock, resets the history, and then sets up the current user to be a logged in user and the system info to be just the value that shows neither Swagger nor the H2 console. Then I add, let's see, here we are. Let's see, this is the one. Yep. I add an Axios mock for onGet for API UCSB Dining Commons all. And what I want that to do is return, oh, I see it. I see it. There it is. Not 3 dates, but 3 commons. And you see, that's it. That's the magic of a pair partner. Sometimes you explain to your pair partner what's going wrong, and you instantly see the problem. Okay, so we want to return 3 commons when we do this. Now let's see if it works properly. Look at that, it passes. Hooray, just like that. All right, tell you what, just for good luck, let's uncomment one more test.
Yeah, it's the same error.
3 dining commons without crashing for an admin user. We'll change this to UCSB dining commons. We'll change this to 3 commons, and this needs to be dining commons fixtures, and this needs to be dining commons index page. And what are we going to wait for? So I already explained to the students on the video what this wait for is all about. Here, instead of column ID, we have a column called code. And so we'll change all 3 of these from ID to code. And our codes are De La Guerra, Ortega, and Portola. So we'll change this to De La Guerra, Ortega, and Portola. And let's see. There we go. 8 tests passed. Okay, I'm going to let Andrew return to what he was doing. So I'm going to pause the video for a moment so that he can make his exit. But Andrew, if I need you, I know where to find you.
Cool, yeah, feel free to ask me to come back anytime.
Okay, sure thing. All right, let's pause. Okay, so we're back, and we're continuing now with figuring out these tests. Let's uncomment one more test, and renders empty table when backend unavailable, user only. So what we're doing here is we're setting up the user so that we're logged in as a user. This time, however, what we're doing is we're setting our route, the backend route that the front end tries to talk to. So this is UCSB Dining Commons all. We're setting it up to have a timeout. And we're setting this mock console so that all the errors we get when the backend isn't reachable are not cluttering up our screen. I'll show you, actually for now, let me comment this out. So, oops, yeah, there we comment that out, and I will also comment out the restore console that goes along with it. So you can see all the ugly red that happens, even when the test passes. So now this, instead of UCSB dates, should be dining commons index page. Now what we are waiting for here is for history.get.length to be greater than or equal to 1. what we're basically saying is we want to make sure that we have done a get at least once. Now, it occurs to me that this may not be what we want. We may want this to be greater than or equal to 3, because we may want to make sure that we have tried to get the current user, the system info, and the UCSB Dining Commons all before we, before we proceed. But let's, let me try that. I think this should be 3 and not 1, now that I'm looking at it. Let's give it a try, see what happens. Okay, so we're running these tests. Looks like that passed, and for what it's worth, we did not get all the ugly red stuff, so maybe we don't even need these. Let's try taking them out and see what happens. Okay, and what this, but there is one other thing. This is expecting test ID cell row 0 call ID not to be in the document. Well, of course it isn't, because that's not a thing that would be in the document anyway. So maybe what we should do instead is look for, what would you look for here? Call code. We expect that not to be in the document. All right. So let's see what happens when we have a timeout. We hopefully the page renders. And I think we might want to check to make sure that one of the headers is in the document. So let's see. If we go over to our Dining Commons, let's see, our Dining Commons table test. So Dining Commons table test. We should have in here, let's see, Dining Commons table test. I was looking to see if we have in here somewhere. Yes, where we are looking for the headers. So we're looking to and expecting all of these headers to be in the document. Let's go ahead and grab those 2 tests. And let's come back over here to Dining Commons index page. And Dining Commons index page test. And we want to make sure that we have an empty table when the backend is unavailable. Let's actually put in, not the expected fields, because we don't expect to see those. And I don't think we need the test ID. But we do want to make sure that all of these headers are in the document. Now, this get by text, where does it come from? This get by text is something that should be right here. The various methods of React testing library are returned to us by this render. So if you want to use get by text or get by test ID or query by test ID, this is where you put the definition. So now we have these expected headers. We're looking to make sure that all of them are in the document, but I think we probably do want to wait for making sure that we've already done the GET requests. And then we want to make sure that those are there. And then we want to make sure that there's nothing in the table. So let's see if that test works. Okay, that seems to work. Let's move on to the next test. Test what happens when you click delete. Now this is the one where hopefully we are going to take care of this test coverage gap that we had with the delete code. So we're an admin, we're going to click delete. We're going to say that on get, we want to get the three UCSB Dining Commons. So let's do UCSB Dining Commons. We're going to use the Dining Commons fixtures, and we want 3 commons. Then we're going to say, okay, if we try to delete the UCSB Dining Commons, we're going to reply with let's see, not UCSB date, but dining commons with ID, let's say, de la Guerra was deleted. So we'll render the page. So this will be dining commons index page. We will wait for column ID, not column ID, but column code to be in the document. And then we will expect column code to have text content de la Guerra. Then the delete button, we will be looking for the delete button in row 0. We will expect that delete button to be in the document. We will click the delete button, and what we expect to see a toast called with this, dining commons, dining commons with ID de la Guerra was deleted. All right, let's see what happens. So let's go over, and looks like our test is failing. Let's hit return to run it again just to see what happens. And we have one failed test. So it was the wait for. We are waiting for this to be in the document, and it did not show up. Let's see what did show up. All of this. So what we were looking for in the document was test ID cell row 0 call code. I'm sorry, that's not right. This is the one. This is the one that failed. We're looking for test ID cell row 0 call code to be in the document. And test ID has the value dining commons table. So we're looking for dining commons table cell row 0 call code. So let's see. Dining commons, there's all the headers. And it appears that you can see here's the body of the table. It appears like there is nothing in the body of the table. So the problem appears to be with this. Oh, and I see the problem. See where I misspelled dining commons. So let's fix that. And let's see what happens. And it looks like, I think, yep. Console.log dining commons with ID de la Guerra was deleted, and all the tests pass. Hooray! So now let's try npm run coverage and see how we're doing there. What we're hoping for is 100% test coverage. And indeed, we have 100% test coverage. So I'm going to do get status. I'm going to do get add dot get status. Those are the files that I wanted to add. Git commit -m pc add testing for test coverage for dining commons index page and dining commons table. And I will get push origin pc add dining commons menu placeholder. You may remember that if I add the -u, then if I have a subsequent get push, I can just do get push and it will automatically go to origin pc add dining commons menu placeholder. Good. All right, we will stop there for this video. Thanks for watching.